Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest Worlds of ZZT livestream. I'm Dr. Das, curator of the Museum of ZZT. I will be your project lead today, I think. We continue working on making a ZZT game on stream. We started this a few weeks ago after we were playing Darby Town, a 1992 release, 1991 creation, where we got to rescue a bank president from a vault. He kind of got locked up in there. It was a silly game. Hope everyone had a good holiday. Snorb, I hope you had a good holiday too. Welcome on in, everybody. Happy ZZT Sunday. I wanted to go off with December and all, a little bit about how ZZT games actually get made, what the process is. This is pretty simple stuff, actually, as it turns out. That's a lot of fun to do. So we've been going through these past few weeks making a game loosely inspired by Darby Town. I gotta say, every time I do one of these like on-stream game dev processes, I always say, oh, I'm gonna aim for this. I look at a ZZT game and I say, I'm gonna aim for something of this complexity. And then I basically just make town again. Turns out, that's the fun part for me, is just coming up with the weird board designs. But it's been fun, it's been neat, and we might actually get, I don't know if we're going to get to the end. I hope we do. I think we're going to get to the point where it's like, okay, the boards are the first draft. The boards are there, they're ready, but the game needs some refinement. Hey Talon, welcome. We're going to move on over to a editor here, where we last left off. We were doing a bit of a winding path. Somebody suggested calling it Baby Park. Hey Powers, welcome on in. I can't even begin to imagine what that comes out looking like. Welcome everybody. Come on in. Thank you for following there, Tal. Where were we here? We've got ourselves our quick and dirty outline for our game. 9 boards. Start down here. Mostly wrap around the rest of things. We are at the point where we've really just got 3 boards, 2.5 to go. I'm trying to think where exactly we started last time. I think we was just with the Dark Maze, maybe? I don't think we just spent the entire stream on this, but this has definitely been the most complicated board thus far. Our player has to do a whole bunch of laps around here, grabbing keys and opening doors. Each time they do a lap, these things spawn in different monsters that duplicate in. So it's a tough one. It's a tough board. And I left some notes for me last time, because in testing, we were finding some adjustments that definitely needed to be made, and it's a good thing I wrote some notes in the scroll here. Get rid of keys and doors. Have something count your laps instead. Yeah. So, through nobody's fault but my own, constantly in testing, I was not actually grabbing keys or remembering to unlock doors. So I wanted to change that. Change the structure a little bit so that the player doesn't need to actually take action for laps to matter. Because this is a rough one. This is a challenging one. We've got a couple energizers to help them out and make them invincible, but they only last so long. Same with our infinite supplies of pretzels and ammo. All the essential objects. So if we're getting rid of this, getting rid of the keys and doors, let's flatten this out a bit. Let's make these walls thick everywhere. Everyone loves a good thick wall. Welcome on in, Snorp, and enjoy your large tablecloth. Almost. Okay, good enough. I'm gonna do we already have stuff that's actually detecting these laps, kind of, because this is handling all the enemies. So how does this guy work? Whenever you run past it, it checks that you're at the right part to advance the lap. And if it is, we eventually get down here. And just make a new counter object. Again, I keep saying this and then not doing it. All these lines, they default to the send command. You can just say the object and the label you want them to go to. So we're going to send the counter to count each lap. Okay, we'll do it like this. We'll make some here. Oh, I'm already realizing something else that's going to have to change about this board, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Make sure that this is quick and responsive. Counter. Counter. Don't do anything until you're told to count. How many laps? Oh, I shouldn't have erased it. I think there were 4 keys originally. So 1, 2, 3. This is how we count in ZZT. First 3 times, we just zap the label. So each time it's just going to keep going first to this one, then this one, then this one, and finally this one. They're going to open up. Get rid of the tile below, and we'll get rid of this thing by having it die. An empty copy of the object so my drawers match. Well, technically that's all we need to do. I'm going to actually expand this a little bit and announce how many to go. 3 laps. Wait, because it shows up the second you start the lap. I guess it should be 4, because you'd be getting this at the very beginning. You do your figure 8. The next time it would say 3 laps. 2 laps. No, that doesn't make sense. Well, it especially doesn't make sense if I say 4, 4. Start. That makes sense. This feels... I'd love to start a stream by not understanding how counting works. That should handle that. I'm going to actually move this out just a little bit more. That looks okay. Because I did realize just now that I want the player to go from the center board to have a choice, where they can go up and right and then down, or they can go right, up, left and down. I'm realizing that like you can skip this board the way I have things currently set up, because you'd be able to go over here. So there needs to be something on this board that makes it mandatory, because otherwise you're not going to want to do it. This is the hardest board yet. I think we can just add another key, really. Let's do that. Instead of putting south an empty tile, we'll give the player a red key. And then, in case the player goes the other way around, they'd be entering the board from here and they'd be stuck. That's no fun. think we can do a little one-way shortcut here. Oh, I actually did do a one-way shortcut. I did this. Well, we'll clean it up later. We'll have a transporter here. I guess the one-way part should be there. Okay. This way, if you go in this transport, it'll just drop you right here. If you go from this one, it'll put you on the other side. So that'll work. Well, don't want the players shooting all the breakable walls and being in weird spots. You know, I kind of like that extra tile. Get a little more angular. Okay, so be able to loop around there. I think this should all function well and good. Let me give this another shot. I've been doing some debugging. I've got that smiley face to give me some initial ammo. Oh, well, that guy's not supposed to tunnel right away, but there is now. 4 laps to go. Okay, no. Okay, we broke it. What broke? Oh, I think originally we were detecting that the board was done if there weren't any, like, doors. That's our issue. Okay. Yeah, because we just got rid of all those duplicators. What is handling that? One of these corner objects, I'm sure. Gets rid of enemies. Yeah, okay. So, everything this guy is doing, the door can handle here. No. No, because the key appears early. Reload. Thank goodness I didn't save for once in my life. Okay, so instead... Okay, so we're going to do a 2-step loop. First, if there's a red key, then we'll go to a different. First we detect that the red key shows up, then we detect that the red key goes away. That should do it. I kind of like the tunnel effect, though. I don't know. Figure it out. They do need something for the player to do if they enter from the right side. Is this level gonna like auto-complete now? I hope not. There we go, okay. First is spares. Grab our pretzel, get bit. I'm playing smart, because I know that these energizers are going to be more helpful in later laps. The actual player doesn't know this. Relapsed. Oh. Because the exit is kind of like in the middle of a lap. Which is a bit odd. It's such a sound. My number one wish for what ZZT could have done different, I think, is probably just make duplicators shut the heck up. They're so noisy. Oh, that thing get a little bit out of hand. My health is still good. Mostly. Wow, I'm really glad that I did decide to erase the enemies, because there's a lot of enemies. 2 laps to go. Well, oh, you can see what happens there. If we purposely get hit, or accidentally get hit, in front of the duplicator, it kind of breaks it. But that's why we got the other guys adding things in anyways. This is scary. Energizer. Any energizers we got, I need them. Please energize. Okay, so obviously something is not quite right. We get the horrible error noise. What didn't happen? Oh, I think I still might have had... Okay, I feel like this board is actually pretty doable now. I feel like, if anything, we're getting a lot of ammo. Okay. Noisy, but kind of working. What caused key? Oh, I forgot my any. Okay. So that would have caused this to stop executing. So that stopped, yeah, so that kept the duplicators working. Pretty happy with it. Again, still need some tweaks. I think we're gonna leave it be for now, so we can move on to some new stuff. So you don't have to hear me, like, rapidly, furiously mashing my keyboard as I try to actually race through this board. I'm gonna actually slow these down by 1, though. I feel like the ammo... I got a lot of ammo, a big surplus, because the energizers mean you don't really actually have to shoot as much as you might think. Let's do... No, let's move on. Won't be here all day. Need our puzzle board. Hey then, welcome on in. Connect this from both sides. I want to go back to the park. I wasn't happy with how this board looked. I was thinking just... if there's no danger to begin with, that's perfectly fine to just... yeah, doesn't this look so much nicer already? Doesn't matter if the player wants to trample all over the grass and put up a sign. Universal sign character. There, please be nice. A meaner ZZT game might actually make these not real gems, and I think that sounds like fun. I'll still let them be gems. I'm gonna detect player did not listen to the sign. So when we touch these gems, we'll let you get an actual gem in the end. If we turn into a gem, we're going to stop executing code. Take away some points first. And find gem. So if we change anything, we only need to change it in one object. And lastly, as much as I said this is not a dangerous board, gotta have a shark or two in the water. Very aggressive. Very dangerous pond. Okay. Let's line up our exit here. 16, so here's the top. That's, what board is this? This is just a placeholder board. This is a reference board. Okay, connects to the part. Do I have any color in mind over here? Oh no, I just had this set in a void. What color? Any color we haven't done a lot with? A lot of green, white, right. Haven't actually, well no, we got plenty of blue here now. Green have we done? We've done a little bit of green there. I think it's gonna be green. We're gonna go with a green board. I'd like to do a because like I said, one of my complaints so far is this is very, very abstract town. I kind of want to draw like some buildings here as like a background. We'll make this look a bit more street-like, which again makes green not an ideal choice, but get to the board below. And I think our contraption will fit in there. I did not measure. Measure 0 times, hope it works out. That's my motto. Have this kind of puzzle design. I did this well in advance just because I knew this would otherwise take a while. We'll go through it proper. I don't know if this will work actually pretty great. I think we're going to want to widen the path a little bit here. We gotta make sure we keep the player out of all of that contraption. Only want them to touch this piece. Yeah, I kind of like having just a little bend there. Oh, I never even coded you. At least. See, now I'm immediately thinking like, I know a way I can make this puzzle more elaborate, but I don't know if that would break the puzzle. You know what? We're gonna let the player shoot on this board and we can experiment. I'm wondering now if maybe we can get away with letting this be like a pick one kind of thing. So you also have to consider that. Our puzzle here that I just threw together in the middle of the night after midnight a few weeks ago is basically touch this object, it'll shoot a bullet, it'll hit these arrows. Oh, I didn't code the arrows either. What am I doing? It'll hit these arrows and they will shoot in the direction that they point. Your job is to hit the goal at the end here. And there's going to be some mechanism to get rid of certain colors. Your goal then is to figure out which colors you remove, be able to create a correct shot. There would probably be a row of like water here. Move this out of the way, we can keep. Yeah, let's do it like this. Good water, we love so dearly. See, we can get it prettier. Again, thick walls. Room is still a little tight. We'll see what that. Let's start programming these arrows before I forget to. So we need... Okay, so we're going to name them after the color because we're going to get rid of everything of a color. This one is pointing north. Don't want to call it die because die is a command. Okay, gone. Then you die. Look at all our blue. This is a blue pointing left. Here another up. Here another left. You're going to be down. You're going to be right. Blue, let's just go across in color order here. Red, this is not red, this is purple. Purple. Now, gotta remember to name these. Left. Up. Right. And also up. Blue. Purple, so red. Didn't change my color. Red. Red to the right. Lots of reds to the right. Red to the left. That goes down. I can just... That's honestly faster. Okay, that's all the red, that's all the purple, that's all the blue. Should just be the yellow. Fingers crossed that I didn't accidentally miss any of these or forget to update the character or something, because that's going to be a pain to debug. It will be tedious. Yellow. Yellow. Some ups. And a lot to the right. Let's test this. We're gonna get shot a lot to ensure that our bullets are shooting in the correct direction. Yep. 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 The system works. This is what I imagine all QA jobs are like. Alright, got that in one. Next thing we would want to test is getting rid of the colors. Red, purple, blue, yellow. Gone. 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 And yellow. Gone. Red, purple, blue, yellow. That's the order I named them. Okay. 5, 6 reds. Good. I just want to make sure that, like, well, I mean, if they disappear from that, they're not going to disappear from the other one. So I don't actually need to reload. Purple is another 6 there. Yeah. I guess counting them is hard since there's already empty spaces, but at this point, seeing what goes away is pretty easy. Blue should get rid of a lot of the outer stuff. Okay, so that'll all work. Let's try. Can I center this also? 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, guess what, everybody? One tile to the left, please. Right, 5. 5. Okay. We're going to hide an object up here. That to cycle once so the player can't run past it. This is going to detect the player passes this point here. We'll tell them, hey, idiot, save your game. We won't call them an idiot. That's a bit rude. If aligned with an extra L for extra alignment, everybody's favorite typo. We'll idle, we'll loop, we'll activate. I'm really falling into like the shorthand, finding lines and such. Straightforward. Little bend will slow them down too, so they'll more likely to actually notice the message. That'll work out. Gonna do a little sky up top here. Like fade to black. Very simple buildings. Probably not blue. A little fancier. Maybe you too. Yeah. Nah. Alright. That still doesn't look super great. But we'll do a little bit of decoration. Put some pretend doors here. just like a real city now. There, like that. That helps a bit. We can always do some classic window effects. Popular one is to just make some text. These guys. Instant windows. Look at that. Don't like how it looks with this one, because this building's an irregular width here. These aren't too. Let's just make you a little wider. Okay, they look like buildings now. Background's still a little. Oh, I know what it will do. We'll make this guy a little bit taller. Bigger skybox, baby. Let's go. Now I think maybe we can try and suggest idea of like more buildings in the background. Slender building. This doesn't quite mesh with. I think a couple extra buildings. That's not too bad, right? Not the worst thing in the world. They're a bit cardboard cutout-y, but I think that's the most city-like anything in this game has been so far, I would say. Here, we'll put somebody in a window. Ooh, is that actually? Hang on. Hang on. We're gonna characterize this. It'll be diegetic. There we go. Now it'll be like that dude's talking to you. Okay. Along. I was also thinking. A little trim around here, since this is also just a bunch of extra space. Alright. Yeah, we're on something. I'm gonna just set our default player here, because that's gonna be relevant for testing. The colors a little bit more, because now it's very green. Well, if we make this purple. There we go. Now it looks like an independent piece compared to whatever the heck is going on here. Alright, so our arrows are working and shooting to the goal. We should definitely play a sound. Drums. Again, I don't know what I'm doing with music. FFDE. Sharp. Let's just go with the drums. You have to get... Giving the player a key here. I mean, maybe... Actually, no. It can be optional. I think the idea is going to be... I think the original idea was actually that, like, you would either do this different challenge room or this one. You only would need to do one of these. We'll give you a key either way. That key then it gets used on the puzzle board. And I guess if you get both keys, you can get some bonus points or something somewhere at the end. We'll do that. I think that'll. We'll add some. Again, save. You need instructions, because nobody in their right mind is going to look at this and know what to do. And we need an interface to actually get rid of the colors. I don't really like it just being a menu. Don't want the player to be able to shoot here, because that'll completely defeat the purpose. Or button. You now. Different person here you can talk to. They'll give you the instruction. I don't know how to in-universe this, other than this is some weird street art of sorts. You will be the artist. Chaos of colors. Interactive piece of art. Interactive piece of art. First, choose two colors from the buttons below. Remove those arrows. Remove arrows. The arrows of matching color. Then choose just call it a can. Don't question it. It's art. Into fire. Cannonball. Be deflected by the arrows. Hit the goal. Everyone that you beat Art. I think that's a good performance. Let's have him block. I love beating Art. No. We can. I'll workshop a funny quip another time. That much at least. Make it so you can't touch him again once you want to participate. He'll move out of the way. We're gonna... Spoilers, I have the solution right down here. Blue and red. Not to destroy blue and red. This will be the red one. It will be the blue one. Yellow one. And purple one. Okay. Need our buttons to be buttons. I used dots earlier. What did I use for pressed and unpressed at the start of the game here? So unpressed was the open circle. So we went from 9 to 7. Actually, we have a sound effect here, so let's do that. We have defined buttons. I have it right here. We'll lock the object so you can't interact with it again. We're going to tell node. They gone? It's been too long now. Yeah, gone. Okay. That'll get rid of our yellows. We need a way to make sure that the player can't just touch every single one of these. And also can't shoot if they've only... So, ZZT doesn't really give us a lot with counters. We can do flags, because we haven't used any flags. That'll let us keep track of state a little bit. That's still not a number, so it's still a little annoying. Alternatively, I think we can just do... Let's do something like... Hang on. Oh wait, what's Norb's idea here? Send... Oh, actually, your solution is way more elegant than mine. I was gonna just start, like, using invisible walls to, like, crack things on the board. Hang on, I think that works great. So others is a special object name, which sends it to every object except for this one. Others to nah. We get to touch 2, so the first time... Be right. I guess this should be all instead of others if we're doing it this way. All right. Oh, hang on. We want to do this at the end if it's going to affect this object. You can still lock because you can't use the same one twice. I don't think it'll matter though. I guess either works. Right, we would touch... You touch this object for the yellows, prevents you from touching. All the other objects in turn, then it's as if this line doesn't exist. So they can only be touched once. So I think this still works. Test this out. Didn't I have a sound effect? I mean, it won't matter for this one because it's locked, but it'll still count down. Yeah, I guess it truly doesn't matter either way. Well, others just for you. It was your idea. Didn't I have a sound effect on the buttons also? Little... Yeah, I thought I copied that. 6.5. Hey, lock. No, we're... Oh, no, I didn't. I've got it up here. We're making a puzzle. Gonna be a mess, but it's gonna be a puzzle. Don't know if it's gonna be a good puzzle. We'll do a red one. Again, he really forces you to repeat things because it really doesn't have variables and strings. Yellow gone. Purple gone. Purple. Okay, let me make sure that any of this works properly. I always forget that it's always the horrible blinking. Puzzle design is hard. I don't do it because it's hard. That's why I did it in advance off screen, because I was like, listen, at least I know this will technically function. So let's see. Well, this should get rid of yellow ones. All these. And now, yeah, okay, we can only press 2 buttons. Alright, I'm trying to press the purple one again, and nothing seems to be happening. Still press our second button. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. I think we've got it working. Lastly, of course, you know, like I said, I added one last mechanic. I've added multiple of these cannons to choose to shoot. There's been a puzzle here and there. A lot of times people don't do them because they're hard. It's very, very easy to just, you know, do this. I just put down some lions and some ruffians and some tigers, and you got an action board. It works. You can play this. You can have fun. Defeat monsters and be defeated by monsters. It really doesn't. You got 10 flags, which are just on or off. You can just detect, have like a lamp or bomb or rope. Listen, you all know where my brain is going, and that's it. Other than that, it's just like ammo and torches and stuff. But since I'm doing game things with them, I need ammo for the player's ammo. I can't borrow it for anything else. So we're using all our actual counters. Technically, you can use a board's time value as a counter, but that's still a bit messy. With those, this is interesting. I guess that label "nah" isn't super helpful. But first, we're just not going to do anything. The first time I'm going to say "nah." They do multi-stage bosses. You just, if you want a guy that takes like 5 shots to kill, you gotta zap the label. You just do. You got me. So the first time they'd be shot, it would jump to that first label, then zap shot would like erase that label. So if you want to give them more health, if you want an object to take extra shots, you just gotta keep doing this. It's such an elegant system, isn't it? It's beautiful. It's a nightmare. Weave, the enhanced ZZT port that Will has created, adds like local counters and object counters and a lot of stuff to make that not necessary, which is nice. But again, yeah, we want this to only be shootable after you've touched 2 of the buttons. You can restore labels. So here, let me just do a object that says different things. Dude. Mo, this is our first time talking. This is our second time talking. You can zap and restore. ZZT does what any good programming language would do, and what zapping actually does is it finds the colon that indicates that this line is a label, and it changes it to an apostrophe that makes it a comment. And when you restore touch, it looks for a comment of touch. And weirdly, when you zap, it zaps just one of those, but when you restore, it keeps going, and it gets all of them. It's a mess. There's a lot of limitations. A lot of things you have to adjust to. It's self-modifying code here in 1991. So let's see, where were we here? Right, so we don't want it to do anything when you touch it if you touch 0 buttons, or if you touch 1 button. But if you touch 2 buttons, then it will shoot north. Wait, yeah, I don't know. Every time you call this, this will stop you from pressing a second one of these. Oh, I think we should have puzzle. Oh, I gotta. Oh, this is actually a. So I've been using bind for a lot of these so that if I edit any of this, I don't have to edit in all of them. But because bind points to code, instead of actually copying it, if I had this bind canon, then it would immediately, when one of these labels gets zapped, it would get zapped for everything. Actually, it kind of works out in this case, but I'm just gonna leave us with some copies. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this, because again, the puzzle originally only had 1 of these, and it just occurred to me that I can try adding that as something to make it a little more complicated. But now, for all I know, I've added 30 new solutions or 30 more ways of failure. I'm not sure yet. So this should be a little bullet loop. And these shouldn't continue firing? Oh, that one does. Oh, because this uses others. Oh, hang on, let me stop the music. So in this case, we'd want them all to do that. So all, I'll get to copy and paste and replace the same object in every one of those slots. It was going to be red and blue. Forget what the solution is. I think it's that you want red and blue. Oh, I broke it. Somehow. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to do an ad break real quick, and then we'll figure out what I did. Hang on 1 minute. Or 3. Okay, welcome back. There was definitely an issue. I fixed it while waiting for the ads to finish. I got rid of that all, and I just said specifically, hey, all the cannons, you go to this label, you all change character and lock, and then I just don't have to think about it. Problem solved. And now it appears to work. The intended solution. I muted the sound so you wouldn't know. Yeah, you should give it a shot if you're interested, honestly. It's pretty quick, and if you actually have any programming experience, and I know you do, it does not take much to learn how to do basic stuff like this. But it did function. It is working. I'm realizing that it's the first one of these that ends up being the correct answer. Yeah, I'm already seeing some issues with this because we can even do the intended combination of arrows. And now this is also valid. We're skipping ahead a bit. But is there any other? Does it you have to have blue. 5 are. Oh, were they? Hang on. Oh yeah, because you're just gonna jump into the middle of the correct sequence of arrows. So that's kind of a pointless mechanic, what we did there. I don't know if there's an easy way we can. That's gonna matter then. I should probably just get rid of that, because that's going to involve some heavy rewriting of this puzzle that I already didn't want to do on stream. Yeah, I mean, it could also just be like a fake out is one other thing you're like considering while you're weighing the possibilities, even if it doesn't actually matter. Also, you can do that, and you shouldn't do that. Please don't hurt yourself on the cannon. I called it a cannon, though, so it's also your own fault. It says save. Well, I disagree. I think you should let the cannon fire. We could fix that very easily. We could detect if when you touched it, if it was blocked to the north or not. But I said save. And if you didn't save, it's your own darn fault. That's where I'm standing on this. Do any of these other solutions, any other combination? They probably do now, though, because you can jump into the middle of the path. Yeah, I'm immediately realizing, hey, puzzle solved. No, I think we should get rid of all of those. Because then you can just kind of probably do pretty much. No, I guess not anything, but like. I don't super like it. Should endgame you if you're. I mean, now that would be fun to detect and call out. That I'm okay with. I think though we're going to. Well, I want this water to not be blinking. I like how Kev edits water. It uses ZZT's cooler water but it uses the blinking variant or something. It's still not right. I've got water opinions. I'm just gonna do blue on dark blue. Back to the park where we did the same thing. Put our sharks back in place. We've got water all over the place in this game, man. This is what water looks like to me. Where that doesn't have water? Honestly, I'm tempted. If I actually do make this water, that would make the tiger lap scarier because they can shoot over it. But then I guess so can you. But the longer you're waiting, shoot. I don't need to get that. Here's the puzzle board. Cannon. We're just gonna say touch the cannon to fire. Like I said, I'm not the happiest with this. It's difficult to make one of these, especially quickly. Make a good puzzle fast. That's not generally how puzzles get made. I feel like with just one of these, it's very obvious. Yeah, what was I? I think I just wasn't considering. I could just obstruct this. What if I do this, just because this one sucks? Out of order. How do the others look? Because now, I don't want the solution, there to be a solution that's just that, plain and simple. Let's try the inverse solution. What can we get here? That just fires back. That just shoots outward and is going to destroy my lovely, beautiful border. Those are all properly bad. Okay, doing it like this is a little better. I think it really is just this one kind of defeats the whole puzzle. Everything else, this is still a very simple thing to figure out, but absolutely have to have blue. Have to have the blue one to shoot the goal, and you have to get rid of yellow and purple to make that clear. Still kind of obvious. It's hard, man. I'm telling you, it's difficult. I think I'll go with that. Let's say pick a cannon again. Choose a cannon to fire. One cannon to fire. we need the gold to actually do something other than play a sound. I kind of like the idea of it like falling down. Oh, actually, yeah, because you're going to get rid of these two. So we can have it fall straight down. Have it fall down the wall. This will actually work out. Here. I'm going to split up this a little bit. I don't know. The rest, if we're just... Change characters, capital G to lowercase g, vice versa. 103, 71, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do this 6 times. We're doing it 3. Double that up. That's 6 times. 4, 5, 6. Yes. Then we need to start tunneling through water. Problem is I can't patch up this water. I like the idea of this turning into, like, especially because one of the components is going to be the hat. I like the idea of this turning into a hat. Maybe we won't have it fall. We'll have it flicker. Okay, hats appear. This guy will actually be the hat. So, yeah, I think I... Oh, no, I'm sorry. The hat was here, the cane was here, but whatever. We can swap those. I think I wanted to, like, make them gemstone, be like the ruby hat. Well, gold is metal, but whatever. Ruby hat, gold cane, other piece. So, I'm going to make you hideous looking hat. This guy right here. That's the character. Number 208. I'm gonna do something. I would love to have it change color, which in ZZT is much easier said than done if an object needs to keep code. And I'm trying not to do anything too advanced in this because I want it to be a very basic, straightforward game. I don't want to do like X and Y step shenanigans to like put an object over this. I think we may just have to make it this color and we'll just call it the crystal. We can call that diamond the diamond hat. Who wouldn't love to wear a hat made out of diamonds? I'm sure it would feel absolutely great on your head. Again, zap touch so that we can do something else now when we touch the hat. Why? It's the diamond hat you've been searching for. And I gotta make my Azania reference. What's the message when you get the crown in Azania? I'm already in the process of looking it up. There's just a really good line about putting the crown on yourself while you take it out to deliver it back. There we go. You hold in your hands the shimmering jewel-encrusted crown for which you have so long sought. It feels strangely light, and with a slight flare, you place it upon your head. I think that's such a good line. I love the writing in Azania. Good. Such a good game. 1,000 bonus points, of course. That doesn't sound good. I'll add sound effects later. Well, because it has to store the string is the thing. So, like, just in the world header, if you look at a ZZT file and a hex header, there'll just be, like, bombs. And it just... I guess it'll be, like, 4, because this is how long the flag name is. 1 for the... It's not... It's a very funny system. It was made by a college student in 1991, and look what happened to the man who did it. So we're gonna set the crown and get rid of that. I use that word a lot. Right, so I think we'll have a nice puzzle here. Yeah, like, sorry, it's the problem is in ZZT, the first flag that I always think of is like, what is an example of a flag you would need to set? What item would you give the player? My brain always goes to rope. Just because it does. And then if I need more things, I'm like, well, what goes with rope? And it's bombs and lamp oil. Like, sorry, folks. Don't blame me for that. You all know it. We all know it. Be really elaborate and detect exactly where in the process you are of this puzzle when you talk to this dude again. Okay, so if you don't have the crown, he'll laugh at you or whatever. And if you do have the crown, wasn't I using all caps? Oh, okay. I think I was using all caps at first before I decided to make this a person. Do I even have room? No. I will not put the name artist. I want something. I like the idea of him insulting you. I don't want to call the player just like a loser or something, because that seems overly mean, honestly. Here we go. Oop. Here, well, we're gonna. There's plenty of typos. I make sure to include typos in everything I do. Have a move, make way for the player, and then move back in. If I wanted to be nice, I could actually like detect that the player has gone through properly or not, but tough luck. We'll just give them some time, and if they don't enter and they get stuck outside, again, they were just told a second ago to save their game. Guess I have to kill you then. There. Now we're handling the soft lock with grace. Correct. We move out of the way. And we lock so the player can't interact with them anymore. Sometimes this artist will kill you. It's okay. Weird little structure here. Stretch this out. Actually, I think it looks a bit nicer like that. I think it looks nicer like this. Not really. We don't have to worry about these breakable walls because I set the maximum shots to 0. If you touch him again before you input solution, you die. That might be a bit on the mean. Yeah, we may want to do something about that. Dealing with these. Here. Let's do... We'll set a flag called tried. If you haven't tried, go on then. We're waiting. Have tried, and we see what happens here. Get it correct. We can get rid of that flag. Yeah, it's not going to matter just because I haven't really been using any flags. I think this is the first board with any of them. It's just going to be like 3 for the statue pieces we're doing. But it's definitely a good habit to clear flags when you don't need them just in case. Much easier to do that now than to eventually realize that you're running out of flags and don't know a good spot to get rid of them. One more label for waiting. Go ahead. Art it up. You can tell my perception of artist is really true to life. Actually, let's put the player in on the correct side so we can also see all of this plays out. Okay. Finally, remember to save. Chaos of colors. Talking. Plenty of time. Okay. Get rid of the wrong colors. Just for the fun of it. You don't understand my art. Guess I have to kill you. Game over. I think everything there is working properly. I like the idea of blasting yourself with the cannon and getting a special game over for that. Also, one last thing is, in the event that you do lock yourself out, I want to detect that and also have him kill you. You're not running around being like, boy, I'll never get this key, or key, I'll never get this hat. So, if you touch this guy, and at this point, I've started the puzzle, and you touch him again, and you're touching him from the west, something has gone wrong. You screwed up. Blank line, so it shows up in a pop-up window, and we'll still do that handles that. If it's blocked, kaboom. The cannon. It was fatal. There we go. Same thing with these. Alright. Now we can die several times over on our puzzle board. And look at that, we're only using 6,000 bytes. Plenty of room. We did say that we wanted a door. Oh, was it red? In a minute now. Red key. Oh, hang on. No, not the default red doors, because then it's impossible to tell what colors things are. That's clearly red door. And I'm never a fan of having, like, lingering doors like this. Especially since I did make it a point that there's going to be 2 red keys, but only 1 red door that needs to be opened. I don't want the players to just, like, open both of them for no reason. Back to here. As long as we're already detecting the player in there, that means they're past the door. Let's get rid of any red doors. And that's going to impact this, because that's a red door. And I'll show you what I mean by making it a yellow door. And there you go. Can you honestly tell that I've changed the color of that door from red to yellow? Probably not, unless you're like 20, in which case, congrats. We call it toss of colors. Let's three and three. Oh, good. We can't center this. Probably put it up here, honestly. Whatever. No, I do want it up there. I was like, this doesn't matter, who cares? And then I'm like, I do. I care. And now I'm like, but it doesn't look so good over here, so now I want to do this. There we go. I'm happy with this board. Got another one done. I have 1 board to do from scratch, and then every board at least exists. Other than the title screen. I still don't have a name for this. We'll figure that out when we get there. I definitely don't need this board. This, I think, is just another... These are all uncoded anyway, so I definitely don't need this board now that I have the other... the actual implemented version. Okay, this looks decent. But you know, the problem is when you start, you never want to stop. I like the question mark. Completely pointless guy who's just kind of there. Cannon kills you. Now we just gotta line up some more exits. 5 tiles wide. The other puzzle board. 2, 5. Yep. And the park also needs to connect to this on like 2 sides. Let me just copy that. Put it over there. There we go. Now we've got our exits lined up. Left is the park. The north is the first puzzle board. Going to be a bit more active, I suppose, for a puzzle. Any colors? Oh, I never set colors really for this one. Do more cyan. That's the theme of the right side, at least. How about some line walls? We haven't done any line walls in a bit. Also, we need an exit to the south from the very... Oh no, that's a mock-up. Actual first board is weirdly low on the list. Here. Grab that whole row. Okay. I actually kind of like having the line wall give way to this here. How's the park? The park is just like red. I think that's right. Last board connection. Southeast. We started so simple with our naming. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have Kev edit showing. Well, this is what I did. Connected some board exits, and I got the borders in. So, I'd like to do here. I want the player to have to engage with this board before they go north. The gimmick on this board is going to be similar to, again, I'm just stealing from Town of ZZT. Gonna blow up some breakable walls with bombs. Doing so is gonna make some horrible, horrible stars appear. We're gonna make sure the player can't shoot on this board. Set that to 0. Sure that they have to engage with this board. Oh, but they're definitely gonna get caught in an explosion if they come in here from the north and then have to do this. That's fine. We'll just give them a pretzel. You can make up for a bomb exploding in your face with the pretzel. There. We'll give it to them early. What I'm thinking for here, I want to do it a little different than how Town did it. In Town, you just burrow through here, and embedded in here are these things that once they're freed or bombed, start throwing stars that home in on the player, and it sucks. Because they can push the bombs that you need to be pushing, and they can just make the board become unwinnable very quickly. There's not a lot of bombs. You probably lose a ton of health even if you get through it properly. So to alleviate that, I'm going to have my objects that throw stars be over here. The player can try and dodge them a little for reason. How far up? You need them to be a threat. Let's try something like this. That's fun. It's fun to make this pattern with the keyboard. the asymmetry. That's a little better. How we're gonna do this instead, put bombs around here. I don't know how many we're gonna need or want. Probably not too many. Actually, how wide is this? 36, 20. Okay, no, that's still, despite the fact that it looks very narrow compared to the size of the entire board, it is as wide as the board is tall in tiles, if not resolution. This should be something. I think what I'm going to want to do something that's going to throw the stars. I'm going to set it to cycle 1 because I know I'm going to really have to tune how rapidly it shoots. Pick a good character. This horrific thing. I think it's like this guy down. Honestly, isn't a bad choice. Mix it up a little bit, even if we're doing the same thing gameplay-wise. I already used these guys for something. How about a Sigma? I don't know how long. That's going to be like 2 seconds. Definitely want to have a stop. I want this to be a constant thing. Here we'd want to bind. I'm sorry the internet made Sigma more of a loaded term, but it's Greek here. Not that many. This is probably going to be a lot, no matter what. Going to have an object. We'll make him live in the corner here. What we're going to do is we're going to detect the explosion from the bomb. We're going to say if there's the bomb explosion just makes a mess of breakables of random colors, and if we only use one color here, then the presence of a different color breakable means that there's a bomb exploding. There's enough tiles here that honestly I bet I could get away with just checking for one other color. The bombs have 7 to choose from, and they make probably like 40 tiles. We'll do 3. Don't see anything like that. Tell the Sigmas to start. And I'm going to actually slow this down. We'll make that always speed it up. Somewhere between cycle 9 and 10. I think it's actually closer to 9, but that makes it so 1 idle is equal to 1 second. Wait just a few seconds. We'll tell them to stop. Go back. Oop. I think we'll be okay there. We gotta see what this is like. Just for now, that'll be our goal. Okay. Oh, wrong starting board, but... Oh, wait. Oh, did this just not reload? Okay. Might also do something like put the bombs on a fake wall. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's a lot of... Yeah, that's too many stars. Help. As you can see, they very easily get out of hand. But at the same time, we kind of have a strat now. If we're lucky. No, they're still gonna get me. Okay. Stars are bad. That's generally the consensus. They're too powerful. So yes, having 5 things throwing like 4 stars a pop is going to be a bit much. Step 1, get rid of some of the. Step 2, cut that duration down in half. Let's see how much better this is. I still don't think the answer will be enough, but it will be better. Scary stuff. Oh. Oh, just when I thought I was safe. I mean, now you can do a much better job running. I was kind of hoping the breakables might come into play a bit more, because those will destroy the stars. I'm just gonna take it here, yeah. Because then you can do this, which certainly makes things easier. Boy, it's like just enough bombs too, actually. Actually, can this reach? This is a long push. Yeah. So we're still running into pretty much the exact same issues that the board in town has. They're getting way too close. I don't think this is going to have enough time. Close, but no cigar. Okay, so we have to rethink this concept. The puzzle board was made at midnight. The idea for this board was made at like 12:30, and okay, I can do something with bombs, go to bed. What do we want to do here? Have construction. That should slow them down. I think they can still push the sliders around, which might be something. Is this anything? I'm just trying things until a game emerges. Still a bit of a wait. And now, if anything, too easy. I want to put like a second row of bombs in here. It doesn't look, again, does not look very far, but it is. Let's do 2 and 2. That should make it easy enough to get through to the end. Overdid it with these. One row here. We'll move this other row also. Oh, I also had it slightly misaligned. Matters. Let's have it look like this then. How is this? I really feel like I'm just trying to fix an inherently flawed premise. Ah, not great. I mean, it is significantly more dodgeable. I don't think that's the worst. Maybe you can escalate. Get rid of these ones. I'm gonna change these guys. Is it the top one? I don't think it's the top one. No, because I started here. We're gonna make them march a little bit forward. Next explosion changes fakes to sliders. Wait, it changes fakes to sliders, sliders to fakes. Oh, that could be an interesting toggle. Maybe. Not the worst idea. I did it again. I'm making them. I'm gonna see what happens if these guys move up a little bit. I'm so impatient for the first bombs now. I love that the bomb actually goes like the explosion goes just through that slider. Scary. Honestly, I don't think this is too bad. I don't know how much I'm noticing them moving forward is the thing. Like they even move far enough to reach the sliders, which can be things a little easier. Mostly, I just don't want this game to take another 3 months. I was foolish enough to be like, yeah, I bet I can do this in 2 weeks. 4 hours. No, I cannot. Okay, but that getting blocked was just kind of luck. I'll move these slightly inward, though, to make that a little less likely to be relevant. Well, let's see. What is it that I don't like? It's very inconsistent. Radically different. Time. You're just doing the same action over and over again. Try something. Try doing something with fakes. Didn't mean to erase that. No, actually how I had it was still fine. Dang it. Is whenever we start throwing stars, we'll change the bombs into red fake. To stop, we'll change red fakes back into bombs. Now you have to wait out the cycle. A little extra shieldy here. What does this look like? Work. Oh, but the boulders can erase the fake wall, so this is already flawed. Oh, okay, the timing was bad. This did not work very well. Oh god. Go away. Okay, scrap that idea. That is not the idea. I don't think it was too bad. This is a little simple. I think I'm just gonna run with it for now. If I come up with something better or want to experiment more later, maybe I'll just like do like a 1.0 and a 2.0. I'll see like what I can do, what a polishing pass on look like. Actually, one thing I don't like is that it's just a big blob of unbreakables. So actually, the fact that I'm not using all the colors here for bomb explosions to detect them, I've got other colors to work with. I can't use red, green, or blue. Purple, white, and yellow. Insane. Well. Almost brought out the gradient tool. That's a little more colorful. I'd rather the... Yeah. Alright. A bit more interesting to look at. Which is not true of this part over here either. Let's again add more color. You just go nuts. Honestly, I like the blue. Sure. Okay, I think I'm just gonna run with this for the time being. Oh, this doesn't line up. Oh. You know what? We can have a little off by one error as a treat. Okay, so now instead, way earlier in the game, player reaches the park, and now they can go directly to here. Following this board, give them, actually, we're supposed to give them two things. We are going to give them a red key. And we're going to give them the proper reward of one of the pieces. I guess we'll go with the cane. Did I do anything? Gave it 1,000 points. I didn't play a sound. The golden cane. You've been searching for, you know, the golden cane. Do a little dance. Cane. Alright, 2 items. Golden? Did I type Golden? Yeah, it's the golden cane. Good catch. Again, not the hat. Let's review here. Where am I at with these boards? This is kind of whatever as a starting board, but also I never actually wrote the story yet. That's nothing too. Wait, what was supposed to go here? Was I supposed to put another piece there? Oh, I was. What the heck is this? What's the gold bar? I don't think I ever wrote down what all the items are you're supposed to get. Hang on. This point? Oh, it does kind of look like a plaque, but... The cane? Top hat? Oh wait, there's a scroll here. Does this say? The bow tie! That doesn't look like a bow tie, though. I don't know why I said bow tie. If that was going to be over in here, because I was using purple keys when I was doing this as placeholders before I decided on these. We do the dark maze, which lets us finally open this door back here. I think that's just a gold bar for bonus points for doing a lap. And then maybe like a lever to open the traffic cones so you don't have to like go in a big circle or nothing. Or no, I'm remembering ideas here more. Okay. Let's go back to my original thing. I'll worry about the mystery object later. I think there's supposed to be a lever there. I just don't know why it looks like that. So this is whatever, honestly, right now. But it is just the warm-up. You pick up some items, you learn how to shoot and open doors and get pretzels and fight lions. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, and I think like this piece here was going to turn into a top hat. Not the top hat. This was going to be a top hat. This would be the bow tie. This board is reasonably solid, if not particularly themed in any way. This is just a rectangular room, a box with walls. But it does have... Oh, I think I changed it to necktie. Because we got that here. That looks like a regular tie. Actually, as long as we're here. Down exclamation point. Oh, what? Did I not? Why was there no code there? Did I grab the cane and then not code it? Weird. Okay, so monster room. We get to the ruby necktie. Necktie. Tie flare, you take hold of the tie. I don't know what action you would do with that. Windsor has been, I think that's what they're called. That'll be on my to-do list. One other trick I wanted to do is I wanted to really surprise the player once they go back in here. Oh, hang on. Gate's here. Gate's going to work. Okay, sorry about that. One thing I wanted to do is because this board is going to be long done, I liked the idea of this activating a new trap and more monsters appearing suddenly. I was thinking of objects. Where? We'll put a hidden object. I say trap activate, or I think I said start. I'm being very inconsistent with my label conventions. I said surprise start. Trap activate. Activate this trap card. Just when you thought it was all said and lions. Well, they're not going to be very aggressive. Here's the problem. But putting them this far back, they're going to be very easily ignored. A little closer here. And then depending on how much you demolish the walls, and you might not have even demolished them whatsoever. Two tigers here. Two tigers here. You know, one last thing, just to catch players off a bit. Probably won't amount to much, whatever. Again, this board's solid. Light on theming. I wouldn't call this construction zone if I didn't see the board title, but I at least have, you know, piles of dirt. They're doing work over here, these guys, these ruffians. So that's something, at least. Again, a very action-y game. Call this the shop, but ignore the everything else all over the place here. No real complaints with this one, though. I think it worked out okay in testing, what little there was so far. Park. I wouldn't mind adding in some people or something, so it's not completely empty. Especially since it's just like punishing gag items. That could be something. Dark Maze was good. What do we call this person? Gemma. Wanted her gems. Lapse kind of working. I was a little unhappy with the mixture of the tunnel and the transporter back. I like the tunnel, but I need the transporter. I mean, well, no. No, I don't need the transporter. Because, yeah, I can get rid of this. If you take the eastern route and you go through the bombard, then you don't need to do that. That's the point. The whole point is that you don't have to do this board. This becomes voluntary. Doesn't matter. They're stuck here. They have to go through the park if they want to do it anyways. And they probably will, and then they'll regret it, but that's on them. This is good, this is good. Get rid of the debug objects. Puzzle is working okay. Oh, only have one exit here though. Bunch of stuff. Again, make sure all these connections are actually connecting both sides. Yeah, no, I think what we've got here is okay. I'm gonna run through what we've got, and then I think we'll call it there for now. I'll probably do some off-stream cleanup. I'd like to get a game out by the end of the year. There's not a lot of time for that. I think we'll do a 1.0, and then at some point in the future, maybe we'll return and we'll see what kind of polish we can do to make this a little nicer. I mean, you joke, Snore, but maybe I'll just open that up and I'll just be like, hey, everybody, who wants to fix my game? Who wants to make my game better? Who wants to DOS's Town remix? See. Alright, save on our starting board. Back to ZZT. Wish me luck. I have no idea how difficult this is going to be. Pretend I'm streaming it. I don't know that a new player would think perking a lot here and believe that these were lines they could cross. You'll never program the guy who tells you what you need to do either, but... Pretzel. Try to think like somebody who doesn't know all the game's secrets. Button. Round. I'd say, oh, I want this ammo. Probably shoot these guys. They'd immediately wish I had more ammo, but... Like, where's more ammo? There's more ammo there. What about that big A? Don't know if that's ammo, so I'm gonna go this way. Uh-oh, I'm out of ammo. Gonna want to discover that this... Oh, actually, with this breakable wall here, it is... I think you can actually run... Oh, well, no, because there's plenty in the centipede area. I'm just not even looking at my own board. So if you have to do a centipede stealth sequence... That's fine. These are the easiest guys to run past anyway. Right. Ammo woes are significantly lessened. Hey, what's up here? I say, darn it. Nothing. Nothing yet. Sieged by tigers. This. I turn them all into gems, which is nice. Or maybe I shoot them all. And I don't get any gems until that last section. Ammo is a lot better. Health is very good. Okay, yeah, no, we're establishing the hell out of this construction site. We're calling this a work area. Can't shoot. Re-enter when zapped. Can't. we would experiment. We'd be like, oh, let me just shoot this wall. Oh, I can't. I like the ricochet pattern we got here. Not going for the pennies, I should be. That gets very high-pitched. I might just lop off the last part there. Oh, this scary guy. Want the gems. Honestly, I'd rather go this way. Well, maybe not. Oh, yeah. Now I'm trying to be fast. Too fast. I just watched that. Oh my goodness. Oh, they're like desynced. Oh, I think we got like a weird case of ZZT's horrible like die move bug happening. Okay, that's easily fixed. I just have to go back to this board and replace all the blink walls so that they're at the end of the stat list and not in the middle of it. That way things dying doesn't cause things to screw up later down the line. This is not great. This definitely needs to take a screenshot. That I don't like. This is, I'm gonna get hit like 5 times doing this. You need something for that. Oh, they're so out of sync now. Okay, this is the botched run. This is not happening like this. Things need to be fixed. Yeah. We can fix the desync. I'm very sure. I'm very confident that just making sure the blink walls are at the end of the stat list would be fine. I thought that was supposed to trigger later. Because otherwise you wait like 1 second and that entire section doesn't matter. I want the player to be in front of them, though. I don't want them to get away with it unless they like really know what they're doing. Actually quite easy, which I don't think is a bad thing. Lapse either way. Maybe I should make those 2 different color doors. Not that important to do one extra lap like that. And it's not like we don't have a later board. That's the entire key is that you have to do a whole bunch of loops. Okay, losing some health, but I'm about to gain access to the store. Man. Torches. The tigers. They're trying to get out of here, and they're doing a good job of it. Okay, find some cash. Do not need this kind of ammo, but... Spicy pretzel. Oh, I never made the door open. You can't really go back though, so it's not... I don't think it actually matters too much. I might just close that off. I never connected the board up here. So the dark maze goes here. Oh man, I have to actually do this in the dark. I don't think I did it in the dark in my testing. I know that I need all the gems. Might be a good idea to put a torch with every gem so you can kind of get an idea if you missed any, because I have no idea if I got them all. Yeah. Still more. Where am I missing a gem? Yeah, definitely gonna put torches in here. That you can tell. Because that part's gonna be annoying, guys. You didn't do anything. But you didn't yell at me, so you understood. You took away the gems, I think. Yeah, and then you didn't. You just stole my gems. I think they're supposed to get rid of that wall, too. Go back to the previous board. Not that previous. I'll be right back again for 1 minute. Hang on. Back. This is to the park. Again, did not connect any of these board exits. Well, start over here. Keep zapping. I need to make those turn into yellow gems and not white. That's an easy fix. Oh, only one of those doors vanished also, so that's something. I feel like we've been doing the laps quite a bit. Let's start over here with our fresh puzzle. That's not really a puzzle, with our horrible survival gauntlet that I'm only tolerating. Oh, they're all on top of fake walls now. Oh, I didn't... What? I thought I got rid of all of that. What do you mean? Oh, there's so many. They're never gonna stop, though. Okay, so we've got a number of things still to do for sure. I'm gonna fix one or two quick ones. Maybe the board exits are good. Northwest. 3, 2. They should have 3. The dark maze and the park. They should connect back both ways. And all 4 and all linked up. Here. 3 here. Okay, so the board exits are good. What happened with you? Nope. Oh, we just literally stopped coding. This. We can just have another hidden object do it. Exit. Here. Okay, that'll clear the path out. I want a torch in every single one of these rooms that has a gem. I do worry that that defeats the purpose of having to buy torches. Because you're going to get a lot of torches. Well, let's put it in, and I'll see how I feel. Top row's gone. Yeah, because you can totally just... No, I don't like that, but I'll change it later. The other thing I want to do before I just call it a day is go back to the park. What happened with this door? Northwest. Die. Vital die. East die. This one stayed present. Oh, that's what it is. They're not supposed to disappear. Only this one disappears because it just kind of opens into the middle of the room. And it's just since I had to zap this, it looked like one of them disappeared and one of them didn't. That's fine. Which one of you gems is the real gem? Let's find that list. Gem. Yellow gem. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a good. We'll see where this journey takes us in the future. I'm not 100% committed to any of it, but this is finished enough that I would like to at least get for sure. So let's move on to the credits here. Their farewells. Enjoy the rest of our days. That is going to do it for today's stream. We will be back again. Actually, not until next Sunday, because I won't be streaming this Friday. So next Sunday, New Year, January 4th, noon Pacific, we'll probably be finishing up more stuff here. I might just do the rest off stream. Maybe. I guess it's really going to depend on my mood in a week. But there'll be a new schedule going up. Well, I guess I'll figure it out in a few days then when I have to do that new schedule. To say that there's no stream on Friday. So yeah, no stream Friday, back again Sunday. Starting next year, I want to check out the ZZT games that got made for the December Game Jam. I believe Adar also made? I know Will did. Will's got this Cannonball Run game that he's been working on like all year. Which that's going to be our Friday streams for January. Oh yeah, that's right. What am I saying? Oh yeah, no. I mean, this is going to be interesting. January 15th is ZZT's 35th anniversary. Hey Ellipses, you're just in time for us to leave. But thank you for waiting. But yeah, January is going to be playing through all 4 of the original ZZT worlds on stream. So that's going to be our Sundays. So if I'm going to do any more work on this game on stream, is going to either just have to be an impromptu thing, or it's not going to happen. Because I don't really want to delay it by like a month. And I know enough about Will's games to know that they are certainly not games that you get through in one. Thank you all again for watching. Thank you for your support. If you enjoy, give a follow, would be super appreciated. Subscription if you can as well, if you're willing to go financial route. Always appreciate it quite a bit as well. That will do it then until next time. Quickly rate us to somebody. Get to an overdue lunch. Later. Well, the silence is over.